So what do you do when you don't hit your goals? Well, I was talking to an agency owner not too long ago that I'm going to show you a couple clips from where they didn't hit their goals and they were kind of frustrated and not knowing what to do. And the good part about it was he was breaking them up into 90-day goals, which you should always do. But what do you do when you don't hit your goals? It's really about looking at why didn't you hit those goals? A lot of us will set out goals and then when we don't hit them, we get frustrated. We create the same 90-day goal going forward. And it's just kind of like a mulligan in golf, right? It's like, all right, I missed that shot. Let me just try it again. Unless you really look back at why and what did you try? That's the biggest thing. A lot of us will say, well, we tried everything. And then if you started really listing out the stuff that you tried, it's probably not that much. Or maybe you tried one thing and you failed at that. Well, when you should have probably tried 100 other things. Thomas Edison figured out 1,000 ways of how not to make a light bulb. So when you tell me I've tried everything, really, did you really try everything? And I want you to look at that. With any kind of goals, you need to really, until you go into the new ones, right? Or even, like you said, you go, well, I didn't hit the goal, so I want to create the same goal, but I don't really understand too much why I didn't hit that goal. So it makes it very hard for you to go into the next. And that's why a lot of people think goal setting doesn't work. The whole point of goal setting is to know what kind of North Star that you need to chase. I mean, think about all the times people have failed. Thomas Edison, 1,000 times figuring out what not to do on a light bulb. But the only way he progressed was uncovering what did not work and then trying something new. You know, so we got to look at it a little bit differently. That's why I asked you, like, why didn't it work? And you listed out 3 things. And I totally agree with that. And also too, I do think your goal was too low, especially when you said, well, I could hit this goal with one client. If you have a goal of climbing Mount Everest, like you just can't go to Mount Everest and climb it. You got to come up with a strategy and you'll come up with a couple strategies. And then out of those strategies, those are tactics within the strategy. So you're working yourself backwards in order to figure out how to go forward. I'm glad you went back to what was working, especially for getting one of those big clients. And that's really what you need to do. Because look, when you just wait on referrals, treat that all as like icing on the cake. But you can't depend on that because then you're depending on other people to hit your goals. You need to take control of what you can control, which is doing the hello emails, which is picking up the phone, which is going to or identifying the events that these people go to. Are there any conferences? And really looking at that and then attacking it, right? So you told me you're putting 2 hours a day to this. So now it's all about optimizing those 2 hours in order to make that the most effective. How I look at marketing is about building the foundation for later on. But later on needs to come sooner. Probably about 80% of your time needs to go into actively outbound, right? So like I always tell everybody, when you're growing that pipeline, you need an outbound channel, you need an inbound channel, and also a strategic partnership channel. But a lot of people, they just concentrate on the inbound, which is good. You need to do that, but it's more for a longer term. You can't really control when they call you. But you can control when you actually chat with them, when you pick up the phone or you email them.